How do we deal with rejection in like our everyday given circumstance? I'm not talking about rejection from a potential love interest, if you're getting rejected from a girl, because I don't have any experience to talk on that. Probably mostly because I've never even asked out a girl at this point, right? But how do we accept rejection when we don't get an opportunity that we were hoping for? Or, we didn't get the raise we wanted, we can't move to the place we wanted. Earlier today, I was rejected from an exchange program, essentially, because my family didn't know where we're going to live next year, and that, of course, complicates things. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. Another example would be earlier in last year, December, when I was rejected from United World Colleges, which is a program, that's for the last 2 years of high school, or it's essentially a more difficult version of the last 2 years of high school, right? So how do you feel in that moment? I'm not very good. I identifying my emotions typically, you know. I'm a very archetypical ENTJ of sorts, right? I suppose at first my immediate feeling was disappointment, Two of my very best friends, they're going to be going on this exchange program, right? And I have that FOMO, that fear of missing out on that opportunity, right? I won't be able to share in those memories. So first is disappointment, of course, but some part of me equally felt a bit of resentment and even more shame in that resentment, you know. Why does it have to be my family that doesn't know where we're going to live, And I feel some resentment towards my parents. Now, of course, I don't think this is a good thing to feel at all. Yeah, I think it's partly understandable, you know, but my folks are very hardworking people. They do their best to take care of me and the rest of my family, right? And to give me as many opportunities as they can. And even so, I'm quite privileged in the first place to be able to be, applying to a program like this in the first place, right? And later on today, my mom approached me and she said, Sam, you won't be able to go on the exchange program, but I found online this other program during the summer where you might be able to go to Europe or South America, right, for a couple $1,000s. I was like, great, love to hear that. But what I'm trying to really get to is, a return to zero in our emotional state, You're thinking about what you're thinking as you're thinking, this sort of metacognition where, what am I feeling in this instant? The second I get rejected, oh, I'm feeling disappointment. And I think if we're able to note that, if I'm able to note that, then I'll be able to be, I suppose, more in control of my actions and have better decision making as a whole. Now, back to UWC. When I was initially rejected, my first thought was, damn. Now, even if I get accepted next year, I'll be graduating at 19, right? And if I get accepted at 18, then I'll be graduating at 20. Do I really want to do that on a personal level? And my initial thought was no, I want to be moving forward through life as fastly and quickly and efficiently as I can. Then I thought, okay, let's calm down, Sen, for just a quick second here. when you're 30 years old, will you be thinking, man, if only I could have, finished high school as an 18-year-old as opposed to a 19-year-old, right? No, of course I'm not going to think that. I'm going to think, wow, I'm so glad I had this amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be surrounded by people that disagree with me, that come from different cultures and different backgrounds, right? I really developed as a person through this program. So I think the point that I'm trying to get at is to take a step back when things are going wrong. The chips are down. Maybe you don't want to be betting your mortgage, to win it back. All right. The cards are down in life. So the only thing you can do when you're in a hard set losing circumstance is turn it into a winning one as best as you can. Anyway, that's about it.